Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm Duran.
and this is part 2 of why is it so hard to earn trust back. All right, so when we left, we were talking about forgiveness.
Yes.
And just a quick recap. You said that it's very hard for people to earn trust back because they're immature. Or their maturity level is not where it needs to be to forgive. And my question was, at what point of them doing the same behaviors do you say, I can't forgive, or you're done with the forgiveness?
See, that's the thing. Forgiveness is not something that's ever done because you're going to forgive for the rest of your life. So it goes back to what I said at the beginning. It's like a loop. That's a limit. If I'm saying that, all right, I've forgiven you so many times, that's that. Because now you're saying you're assuming responsibility for this person and their actions and why you can't trust them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Forgive them, accept your healing. They're going to see it. Keep it pushing. But it's not your job to bring that person around. It's not your job to go out your way to do something for them. But what it is, the proper thing to do, forgive them. They're going to see it. It's not for us to interpret how somebody else takes it or receives it because we're making it about us when we do that. It's not about us because we've done something to somebody that we might not think was that big of a deal or something that would break a trust bond, but it broke the trust. And we expect them to forgive us for it because we put a degree onto it. Like, oh, well, I didn't really do nothing that bad. I know I said this, but it shouldn't have hurt your feelings like that. You can't tell me how something affected me. If it hurt me, it hurt me. So if I feel like I don't trust you because of that, you expect me to trust you. That's the same thing you're doing to that person.
So I feel like we just kind of contradicted yourself here. And let me explain why. Because you said earlier that forgiveness is done for us.
It is.
Right? So when you forgive, you're forgiving it for you. But then just now you just said it's not for you.
It's not for them. I'm saying if the example you gave or I was trying to give you was if you did something to somebody and you tried to force them to like trust you because you didn't think that what you did was something that would break that trust. But to them, it was. But to you, it wasn't. And so you like, it wasn't even that big a deal that I took that out your car or I did this. And they're like, nah, bro, that's weird. I'm saying I'm trying to explain the limit portion that we're putting on the forgiveness. So now I'm trying to force you. So it's the same thing as if that person that we're shunning is like, oh, well, you can't give forgiveness no more because you keep doing X, Y, and Z and you can never get the trust back. You don't have to do the work for that person. I'm just saying forgive them and then keep it pushing. You don't got to go out your way to put a spotlight on that person for what they've done.
But it doesn't necessarily mean putting a spotlight on them. When I talk about forgiveness, I'm meaning allowing you back in my circle, right? Because there's a certain level of peace that I'm going to have, whether you're in my circle or not.
Exactly. Right? But do you really have peace if you got alt in your heart?
Because it's not in my heart anymore.
If you're not letting somebody come back into your circle, it's alt in your heart because you haven't fully forgiven that person.
But you just said you forgive them and walk a different path. So you're not letting that person come back in your circle.
Right. But you didn't say forgive. You said that you're not letting them come back in your circle or whatever.
And neither are you.
Because you're right.
Right? It's the same thing, in my opinion. Like, if first off, for me, I guess it's a little different for me because in order for me to forgive you, I have to actually have cared about what you did. Right? Because if I don't care, then I won't care. I'm done.
Right, but that's you thing. We talking about the total.
But I just feel like
I think you need to say what you really want to say because you're beating around the bush. and then I can answer your question more
When
direct.
I don't think everybody deserves forgiveness.
And that's okay because you entitled to your own opinion. But what I'm explaining is why everybody it deserves forgiveness.
Okay.
And it's not saying that you're immature for that, but in my opinion, it comes with a level of maturity. You gotta understand, we come
So
from
you are saying I'm immature
a
then.
very similar place, and we have experienced some things where it has caused us not to want to be around or do stuff with certain people.
Yeah.
And it didn't take until as of recently for me to be like, you know what, I forgive you for that, and that's it. And that's all it took for me to do that. So whatever, even if I didn't feel like you was in my circle, or I felt like I was giving it attention, or how important it was to me, no matter if it was big, small, non-existent, didn't matter what you did. The fact is, to say I did it, so I acknowledged it. So I that was the self-care trait for me.
See, and for me, it's the opposite because if somebody's done something to me, then my thinking is, you know what? You never truly cared about me if you can do something that bad to me where it hurt. So
But sometimes that's not
I'm just
true
out of there.
because the people that have access to you the most is the ones that hurt you.
But not to that degree. And I guess I'm very like fact driven when I think about stuff. Like, yeah, that hurt my feeling, or yeah, that may have pissed me off, or something. But had this been anybody else, would that have pissed me off? Or had I done that, would that have pissed them off? Right? There's the fact behind me thinking it, my thinking with it. There are very few people where I'm emotional with my thinking, where like they do something and I'm upset because I'm emotionally upset and whatever. So forgiveness for me, like I feel like if somebody does something where you have to forgive them for it, um, and they're not willing to admit that they did it, but then even when they do, like how many times do you allow somebody to do the same act before you're like you say forgive them and walk away. I say before you're like, you need to learn your lesson. I'm gone. Because for me, they're gonna learn their lesson more by me saying, I'm gone. You lost a really good friend or a boyfriend or whatever. You lost somebody that was really good in your life because of your actions.
Right. And I understand that. But what I'm saying is forgiveness is an absolute. So you still taking and removing yourself from them. Therefore, it's not becoming a full circle with them seeing that they are indeed still worthy of some type of trust or forgiveness. Because then that would imply that people don't deserve to earn trust back, or they can't never earn trust back, and trust can be earned back. And uh, yeah, at the end of the day, that is how you rationalize it. But it's some things that you
I
just
think
don't. It comes with each person's own individual trait. But at the end of the day, we have to learn what truly forgiving is.
I
Because
think repeated behaviors can push you so deep into a well that it feels like, and it very I mean trust can always be earned back to a certain degree, but like it's always going to be deeper. Like when we look at a battery, right? Well, let's say a rechargeable battery. When you get it, it's at 100%. When you use it and drain that battery down to zero and then recharge it, that battery may only hold 98% compared to what it is. And each time that you recharge it, it's holding less and less of a charge until eventually it's holding 20% charge at all times. And you can't get it to charge no further than that. And I feel like that's how trust is, because if you slap me in my face and I go, hey, don't hit me no more. I forgive you, but don't hit me no more. Okay, I won't. And you slap me again. Okay, now my trust for you has dropped even more. And if I forgive you and I put myself in it again, now I don't trust you at 100% again. Now I'm trusting you at 80%. And then if you slap me again, it's going down to 70%. And if you slap me, like, it's going to continue to drop based on your past behavior. So that's why I asked, with those limits, how many times can somebody lie to your face? Or can somebody cheat on you, or even people in the past? If you found out that your wife cheated on every single man that she was with, are you going into that relationship trusting her 100%?
See, but you gave me a preface for the limit. So you gave me something. Basically, it's like how I forget what they call that. Whatever happened where uh basically it's called shadow something. You gave me a condition where I would give you an answer based off of something that's important to me. So I'm gonna just say it again. Forgiveness is forgiveness. If my wife was continuously cheating on me, but even if she was cheating on people in the past, I chose and made a commitment with this person to think they was going to change. And then if she was just continuously cheating on me, I could still forgive you and move on with what I got going on
Okay.
without assuming the responsibility, because I'm responsible for you marriage wise because of the commitment, but I can't make you stop doing something, but I can forgive you and keep it pushing because again, that's the perfect example of that healing is for me.
Okay. So
So
let's,
saying I forgive you, and then you asked again what the limit was. There is no limit to forgiveness, and that's the part of that I said it comes with maturity. Is that you can't put a limit on it and keep asking. I'm saying don't obviously endanger yourself. So example, hopefully help me understand because I was trying not to go into that, but the Bible says you have to live by the laws of the land. The laws of the land is the government, right? So don't shoot, don't do this, whatever. Run a red light, you're gonna get a ticket.
right.
But we also under the laws the laws that was made in heaven. So it's saying even though you under these laws, you still gotta obey these laws. So it's the same thing when you're talking about trust. If we talking about trust, I don't have to go out of my way to do this, but I'm still expected to forgive you or show you that you're capable of the trust. I don't have to necessarily give it to you in order to do that. So if I say, well, if you keep hitting me and you keep doing this, well, obviously, if somebody trying to hit me, why would I let you stay in my presence or in my face? That's common sense. That's a no brainer. That's a thing that you don't have to think about. Just like if somebody kept pointing a gun at you, you obviously gonna do something about it. But I'm saying when I say trust, I mean like when they do something to you that you feel like you can't forgive, if they keep doing it, it's not on you. You don't have to let that person in your house just because you forgave them or that you gave them some form of trust back. You're releasing the forgiveness and the trust for you to heal. And if we got to keep putting limits on it, that means that it's something that you haven't forgave somebody for and you let it go and you haven't felt what it's like to actually just forgive them. And remember, I said, forgiving is not you assuming responsibility for this person's recovery from whatever they're doing to break these trust bonds, whether it be cheating, stealing, killing, whatever. You are not responsible for that. That's not what I'm saying. I said forgive so that you can have healing for yourself, whether it affected you 1%, 2%, 5%, 100%. It's for you, but it's showing that person that they can have some type of redemption. It's not for you to go out your way to do it, but it's supposed to be a thing that everybody should be capable of doing because you said somebody was doing drugs and they keep doing drugs. So are you saying that addicts are incapable of not being addicts no more? So once you get hooked on any type of drug, that's it for you.
I think every addict will tell you that once an addict, always an addict.
So just like our podcast, once a cheater, always a cheater.
I told you how I felt about that.
You did. But
But
I'm just
every
but
single,
that's
but I'm telling you, the addict thing you can't use because every addict will tell you, once an addict, always an addict because it's always there. It's always, you always want to do it. They make the choice not to do it.
right. But that's the thing though. Again, it's a limit that's been put on, and I'm gonna keep saying that because we slap. I see. We slap something on top of. We slap a condition. I would do this for you, but it's a conjunction. We can't keep putting buts. It has to be a point where we just go straight across. Because then, what happens when it's time for your butt or it's time for your something to come through?
We're gonna have to have a part 3 to this.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But the question was, why is it hard to earn trust back? Or why is it so hard to earn trust back? Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we're gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.